happening? The 21 Convention, Tampa, Florida. We have a pretty amazing speaker. He is the founder of the Direct Dating Summit. He, man, is somebody who is actually, I've surely seen YouTube videos of him. He's one of the most asked about guys here at the convention. And he is known for, well, I'd say many things, but destroying your fears as a man. If you have trouble approaching, meeting women, or working through some issue in your life, Sasha Daygame is the man to talk to. Come on stage, my man. Let's do it.
Awesome.
Listen to that.
What's up? How you guys feeling? This guy, the fucking Indian guy, has more energy than you fuckers. How you guys doing? All right, that's better. So my name's Sasha, and I'm a professional dating coach for many years before that, and still currently stand-up comedy is my thing. So I thought, wouldn't it be appropriate to start with a little joke? Yes? Who wants to hear a little fucking joke? Yeah. Good. So my best friend Jeff in Toronto is one of my best buddies, awesome guy. He's really helped me out throughout my life, a really loyal friend. And for me, that's one of the most important things, loyalty. So my buddy Jeff, I come home one day, I was living with him for years. I come home one day, and Jeff loves this game, Grand Theft Auto. This is years ago, this is Grand Theft Auto 2, right? So it's this game where you go around, you rob people, and you get missions, and you get money, and whatever. So I come in, and I walk in, and I see Jeff behind the computer, and he's there, and he's just pressing, I just see him pressing the space bar really fast. He's just there going, and I look up on the screen, and I see a guy's bicep, and he's holding a weight, and the guy's just working out this weight, right? And I'm like, Jeff, what's going on, buddy? You know, I don't understand. What's up? And he's like, oh, I got to get to this next mission, to this next level, but for me to succeed, I have to go on a date with this woman, but to do it, but she won't go out with me because I'm not in good enough shape. So I got to go to the gym and I got to work out, and then he's just there, just doing this fucking thing. And I'm looking at this guy like he's from outer space, and I'm like, dude, you realize the time you're putting into this video game, you go out there in the real world, join an actual gym, get fucking ripped, feel better about yourself, go on a date with an actual woman, and have real sex with a real woman. And Jeff looks at me and just goes, fuck that. And Jeff went for a stretch for like 10 years of not having sex, finally had some sex, but just is not interested in having sex. And it came down to he had a bad experience, and he just decided he's got this fear of women. He just went, I'm not going to deal with that. Fuck that. And he played video games, and he's a nice guy, and he does his stuff, watches TV, but he just will not approach girls. He won't face his fears. And I think that's one of the biggest problems for men today. We're not really put into a situation where we have to face our fear. We actually have to become men. James mentioned this as well. And so we kind of become little bitches, and it's kind of normal, right? You can go and do what you're supposed to do as a man. You go and you get your job and you make your money, but you're still a fucking little child, right? And for me, my process, I did it the long way. I went out and I spoke to like thousands of women, but eventually I manned the fuck up and I got to a point of being fearless in that part of my life, and I found that spread into other areas of life. And I really find that you're either going to be one of those guys that faces fear head on. You're like, fuck this, I'm going to do what I want to. I'm just going to, whatever scares me, whatever I can't do, I'm going to do it over and over until I master it. And then that just opens up your entire life so you can just do anything. Literally, there's nothing you can't do if you face fear. But if you live in fear, you can't do shit. And you end up living a mediocre life. And again, other speakers have spoken about that. So I thought, let's make my whole talk about destroying approach anxiety and social fear. How's that? Good? And I want it to be, yes, that's right. And I want it to be interactive, so I've got these Sasha Daygame condoms. That's right. It says, and you can get one of these if you're interactive. It says "Got Game" in the front. Here's the best part. You open it up, and it says inside, "We don't sell condoms. We create men that need condoms." That's right. So, yeah. And so whoever gets a condom, if you have sex with a girl and you use it and you get me video proof, you win even more stuff. So that's all. Leave it at that. All right. So let's get cracking. I don't know. I'm not very. There's going to be weird stuff in here. I'm not a professional maker of screens. Okay. So who has social fear? Everybody. Fucking everybody. Okay. If you've ever been nervous about talking to a hot girl, okay. If you've ever thought about public speaking, being the best man at a wedding. Going to, any situation, maybe somebody's like, hey, you should go do stand-up comedy, and you're fucking shitting yourself. Everyone has social fear, okay? It's not like, oh, that guy's afraid. Everybody has it. So, there you go. Nice professional slide. So, now, I find there's only really, I think in my opinion, there's only one real way to deal with that shit and get over it, okay? I'm not even going to ask you guys if you've seen a hot girl and be like, and then run away. Everybody does that. So some people might say, well, you're going to do hypnosis. I don't trust hypnosis. Okay? It doesn't work for everybody. It's expensive. And frankly, I don't trust some dude like, all right, stare at this, and I'm going to make you. And I'm just like, no, man. James Marshall spoke about this earlier. If you don't have to work for it, right, it's probably not worth much. Am I right? So I don't believe in that shit. I think you really have to make deliberate, conscious change, and that will lead to permanent change. You have to work for it. You got to feel that pain and get through it to actually get results. So first, I'm going to do a little review. I put these out in one of my talks before, so just a quick review of some crucial mindsets, and then I'm going to actually get into my system for permanently removing social fear. So that's right. Fuck that shit. I hate it. Seriously, and it's funny because, like, there's so many guys from so many different cultural backgrounds all over the world, and it doesn't matter where they are, where they come from. I'll point to a really beautiful girl and I'm like, just go over there and say hi. And they're like, no. You know, and it really is the most crippling thing. And I found after, 7, 8 years of teaching this stuff, if you can just get rid of it, if you can really just get to a point where you just don't give a fuck, you're like, I don't care, your whole life changes because you're just like, I'm just going to do it. You know, even if you suck at game, you don't know what to talk about, it doesn't matter. If you're not afraid and you come up and actually face it and talk to women, everything else falls into place. So some of my mindsets, I think, are useful. Women are bored. Women are bored. Most women have mediocre lives. They walk around doing their thing. They go to work. They work for a few hours. They come home. They'll eat their food. Maybe they'll talk to their girlfriend on the phone, and they'll watch some movie, and then they'll go to, they'll masturbate in a lot of cases, and they'll go to bed. Okay? This goes on forever. There's not that many amazing, crazy things happening. And just by actually coming up to a girl and being like, hey, I want to talk to you. You look amazing. She's already going like this. I can't believe that happened. That's a great story. Even if she says no or if she's married, odds are she's calling her friend going, this guy came up to me and told me I was sexy. I can't believe this. Obviously not in that manly voice. That'd be weird. But so women are bored, and just recognize that you're giving women and other people you speak to a great story just by engaging them and giving them some kind of experience other than nobody talking to them. Does that make sense? Okay. So women are hornier than men. Does that come as a shock to anybody? No. They are. How do I know this? I know. So women are hornier than men. Now, not just that women have like this thing called a clitoris, which is built just for their sexual pleasure, which, frankly, I'm a little bit upset we don't have one of those, That's some bullshit. God, if you're listening, that's not fair, and you know it. Anyway. But also, if you've ever, women have, just as an idea, if you ever read any of those books that have all those, there's Secret Garden and there's that other huge one, Women's Fantasies, all these books, if you actually read those books, their fantasies are crazy. Like it's unbelievable. Like a man's like, yeah, just like, yeah, I had sex and then I ejaculated on her boob and then I went to, it was awesome. That's us. And maybe her friend was watching. Women are like, there's 19 dudes and 40 horses, and they all take their turns, and they fuck me, and my arm falls off, and they start fucking the arm thing, and I'm tied up, and one guy's punching me in the face, and then they have multiple organs, and this goes on for 4 months. That's their fantasy. It's just some ridiculous, horny, crazy shit, and men are just like, yeah, I watched a porn movie, and a girl gave me a blowjob at the same time. Cool, dude. So women are way, way hornier, and if you actually have, anyway. So that's just an important thing. Don't be like, yeah, we want sex and they don't know. They're way worse than us. Okay, this is really big. How long does it take to come up to a girl and be like, you look beautiful, I just had to come over and meet you? How long does that take? 15 seconds. 15 seconds? Max, you get a condom. You can get that later. But what was that? That sound like I just went over and called him a bitch and punched him in the face. I threw a condom. It hit someone else. Okay, so it doesn't take long. It takes literally 10, 15 seconds, if that, to come over to a girl and tell her, hey, you look amazing. And it makes women happy that some man actually had the balls to come over there and make her feel good. So it's a beautiful thing. It's excellent. It only takes a few seconds. So one of my greatest mindsets is you're an asshole if you don't go over there and make some woman's day or some person. All right. So this is a really big one. Nobody talks about this. Okay, so most things in Hollywood movies are absolutely bullshit, right? Like all the advice they dole out, I just want to punch the screen. But there's one thing that's in those Hollywood movies that's actually true, and it's that women crave a magical moment. Now, can anyone kind of guess what am I talking about here? Okay, well, that's a little bit extreme. But yeah, sure, I joke about that. I went on my boot camps. Did you have one as well?
She was going about her day, and you came out of nowhere.
Right. Something like that. So most girls meet guys in really unimpressive environments. They'll just be in a bar and some guy's hammered and he works up the courage and comes over, hey, let me buy you a drink. And it's like so standard, it's horrific. And that's why I really like meeting girls in everyday situations. Because odds are, just by approaching her in a bookshop, on the street, on a bus, you're already kind of creating that magical moment, especially if you're authentic and you're direct with your intention. So a quick way to illustrate this is, students will often ask me, what do I do if there's two girls or a group of girls? And the big mistake is going up and be like, hey, you guys are all so hot or whatever. Don't ever do that, because you come off of this as this horny dude, right? Like, you guys are hot. I'd bang any of you chicks. Bad. Okay? But the movie moment, even if there's 4 or 5 or 6 or 10 or 20 girls, it doesn't matter. I'll walk up and I'll be like, hey guys, don't worry, I'm not a lunatic. However, then I'll look at one girl in the eye and I'll say, you are absolutely gorgeous. I just have to meet you. What's your name? I'm Sasha. And I'll put out my hand. Why did that create a magical movie moment?
Because you selected her.
Exactly. Out of all those girls, I knew what I wanted. I was authentic, and I had the balls to come up, look her in the eyes, and be like, that's like love at first sight. That's like, I don't care about all these people. I saw you, and I was like, wow, I had to meet you. That is what they crave. And if you give women that magical movie moment by approaching and facing your fear and actually come up to her, you're doing something that 99.9% of men will never, ever do. And this creates imagine the story a girl goes and tells her friends. Can you imagine this? Yeah, I was just, I was sitting eating in a restaurant with my friend, and this guy saw me from outside, and then he walked in and was like, hey, I don't want to interrupt, but I've never seen a girl as beautiful as you, and I just had to come meet you, or I just would always regret it. Who are you? That's a fucking story. That's awesome. And it's funny you bring up the parachute example, because I joke about that on my boot camps. I always say, the further you go, the more effort you put in, right? The better it is. So, one of my instructors, Ryan, he once got out of stopped a taxi, ran out and ran like a block and a half back and stopped a bunch of hot chicks. They go, oh my God, I saw you, I had to meet you. Instant, of course, the girl's like, here's my phone number. And I joked that the ultimate approach ever would be like you're on a skydiving course, and you're in the plane, you're flying, and you're thinking about where you want to drop, and you're on your binoculars, and you see a really hot girl, and you're like, you know what, I'm going to go early, I'm going to meet this chick. And you jump out of the plane, and you land, and you fucking almost break your leg, and you roll. You fucking come in from the plane, and you're just like, and you land, you're like, excuse me, I know this is totally weird, but I was just skydiving, and I saw you. And I had to come here, you're the hottest girl I saw out of kilometers, and I had to come meet you. You're getting laid. All right, there's no way you're not getting laid in that scenario. So it's funny that you brought that up. Anyway, does that make sense? Beautiful. All right. So the top mindsets for social fear, fairly similar. People like meeting new people. Okay? People do. Most people are friendly, especially in this part of the world. People like meeting new people, and you're giving them the opportunity to do that. So get out of your head and just start meeting new people. Other people have as much social fear as you. Doesn't matter how much you're like, I don't know if I want to talk to this person. Other people are standing around even more scared, going, fuck, I don't know if I want to talk to anybody. So, and remember that, it's not just you. I know some of you guys are already like ballers, you're like, I don't need this. But for the people out there who are just like, it's not just you, okay? So, practice makes perfect. So by confronting that and actually going and speaking to people, you're giving people the opportunity to actually practice their social skills, and it makes the world a better place. Because you're getting more awesome, they're getting better. It's good for everybody. It's win-win. Okay, cool. So just a quick thing here, how to internalize these beliefs. So like I said, I went out the old-fashioned way, and I just talked to lots and lots and lots of women, which does work. Experience does work. I think it's a good way to do it. But generally speaking, with anybody, just think about it. Like, really meditate on this stuff. Think about it. Does it make sense that giving a girl a compliment is something cool, or being honest with women is cool, or actually, that women are bored? Does this stuff make sense? If it makes sense to you, adopt it. Like, really adopt it. Just go, yeah, you know what? I want to live my life like that. By making a conscious decision that I want to start doing this, that is a huge step to actually start kicking the crap out of your anxiety. Okay, so conscious decision. Knew that was there for a reason. So acting on those beliefs, right? Going out there and talking to people, repeating those thoughts all the time, like women love compliments, women love attention, women are bored, women want sex, right? Really get obsessive over it until you're just, every time you see a woman, like, she's probably bored, she's probably horny, I'm going to go talk to her, right? Repeat that shit. Repeat the actions, right? Coming up to girls, hey, I saw you, I want to come meet you. Boom, just over and over and over. Okay? Now, here's where we get into the bulk. That was like the warm-up. Here's where we're getting into the good stuff. So the big question, what causes approach anxiety and social fear? Yes, sir.
The fear that the person is rejecting who you are.
Okay. So yes, I'm looking for a more specific answer, but yes, that is part of it. Mm-hmm. Yep, there's a specific word I'm looking for, a specific thing. What is the root cause of this fear? Anyone but you know the answer. You shut your face.
Like a biochemical response.
Okay. Part of it, maybe. Oh man, I got a condom ready for somebody. Who wants this condom? Rejection. Yes, sir. Rejection, but sure. But what's behind all that? What's behind that fear of rejection? Yes, sir.
Past experiences that have conditioned you to feel that way?
Sure, partially. No, you're one of my students. You know, insecurity, sure. Yes, sir.
Fear that rejection will cause death.
Where is all this coming from? What part of you?
Being judged. Confidence?
Society?
I can't believe nobody's getting the one word. It starts with an E.
Erection.
Ego. Yes, you get one. Whoa! You get that later. I'm just going to make piles up here now for whoever. Okay, great. So let's look at the next slide. Bam! The ego beast. Okay? So, what is the ego? This is pretty much the important question in this presentation. What is an ego? Anybody? Yes, sir.
Self-representation of what you think your values are.
Yeah, very good. So basically, your ego is your brain's idea of who you are as a man, who you are as a person. Okay? So, and whatever this idea is, the brain does everything it can to defend that idea. So, for example, you think, I'm a pretty cool guy, girls like me. And then I walk up to you and I'm like, all right, dude, there's a smoking hot girl over there. Go and talk to her. You're going to go, nah, she's not my type. Or no, she's not that hot. Or she probably has a boyfriend. Now, where are all these thoughts coming from? They're all bullshit, right? You don't know any of that stuff. So where is that coming from? That's coming from your ego. Your ego is protecting your, this idea that it has of who you are. It's saying, no. Because if you go over there and you come to this girl and you're like, hey, you're really beautiful, I want to meet you. And she goes, fuck you, you loser, get out of here. You're going to go, ah! And you're just going to explode and you die, right? That's what happens. So that's your ego. That's your ego. That's not you. You're not that person. It doesn't matter what she fucking thinks. None of that stuff matters. But your brain comes up with this concept of like who you are that is completely false. And if you get into Eckhart Tolle and all this other deep stuff, which I don't have time for, but you are not your ego, and actually you're this immortal, wise, amazing being that is so much more than just that what our fucking brain thinks, right? But we get caught up into this. So I want to talk a little bit about the ego. Bam. So that's what an ego is. So obviously, how does it stop us, guys? How does it control us? It stops us from doing pretty much what we want to do, right? We think a thought, and the ego defends and just goes, no, you don't want to do that. I'm going to go and start a business. I'm going to quit my job and start a business and make millions of dollars. No, but you got a steady paycheck, and it might not work. And you know what? Just keep your job. You're doing better than most people anyway. You got a pretty good job, so even though you hate it, but you make money, so just don't bother. Yeah, this girl I'm dating, she treats me like shit, and she disrespects me, and she's not really that cool. She's okay though, but at least I have a girlfriend. At least I'm getting laid sometimes. So yeah, I'm not going to break up with her. I'll just stick with her, right? Any more? Right? Pretty much anything that you want to do, and the doubts come up, and they're like, no, you don't want to do that. That's not you. That's your ego talking. All right? That's a little piece of your brain that's too fucking terrified to let you take a chance and actually become something greater than you are. Okay? And it's bullshit and holds back everybody. That make sense? Okay. So I find that this one thing keeps pretty much everybody from doing everything they want in their life. Right? It's the ego. It's you worrying about what other people are thinking. It's your brain stopping you from doing what you want to do with your life, and it's fucking terrible. It's kind of similar also to this other thing, which is very, very similar, where you let other people's judgments affect you, obviously. So so a lot of guys are like, oh, there's a hot girl, but if I go talk to her, all those people are going to see, and they're going to see I got rejected, and then again, people live their entire lives just worrying about what other people are thinking. And it's really terrifying. In some places are worse. Like, for example, India. I had one student who literally, because he decided, I'm not going to do an arranged marriage, I'm going to go out there and get good with girls, and I'm going to do what I want to and live my life, he's not allowed to talk to his family anymore. He's been blacklisted. He's done. He literally picked my happiness over his whole family, because there's that much oppression, and everybody's just living their lives, limiting themselves based on other people's opinions. It's fucking horrible. Okay, so clink. How do we deal with this? So this is where we're going into. So I got some mindsets. And then I'm going to get into my formula for basically destroying approach anxiety and social fear and how to do it. So, some mindsets here. In reality, nobody gives a shit about you. Okay? This is really big. Guys are like, oh, I could talk to her and people will see me. No one gives a fuck about you. I don't know like how to really put this across. If you actually look around all the people walking around doing their stuff, doing their business, you could do anything you want to, and I make my students do some really crazy shit, like screaming things on the street and flipping out and running around like with their shirts off. No one cares. People literally will just be like, no one cares. Everyone is too busy in their bubble of worrying about their thoughts and their problem and their ego and worried about what their parents think, what everybody else thinks. No one gives a flying shit about you at all. Nothing. Nothing. But everyone goes, oh, no, I can't do that. People are going to, it's ridiculous. So the truth is, no one cares about you. That's actually really empowering because you could just do whatever you want to. Maybe your mother. And then only about half the time. So, just saying. Okay, so the only person whose opinion really matters is you. This sounds really obvious, but this can take a lifetime to really develop, to get to that point where you're just like, I know what I want, I know who I am, fuck everyone else. If you can just get to that point, your whole life's going to be awesome. Seriously. I mean, and that might take years. That might take years, it might take you to 30, 40, 50, it might take you your whole life, but this is really what you want to be shooting for. And my formula is really going to help you guys get there, okay? And I'd say again, that destroys everybody. Trying to live to other people's expectations, trying to do what other people want you to do. It's fucking horrific. I went on a date once with this beautiful girl. She was Chinese, and I'm talking to her, and she's so hot. She had this great body, and we're just hanging out. And I'm just like, yeah. So I want to know more about you. Tell me more about you. And she reveals that she's like, yeah, I'm going to be a doctor. I'm like, okay. Do you? Actually, no, it wasn't a doctor, it was a lawyer. I asked her, so what do you want? She goes, I want to be a lawyer. And I'm like, okay, do you like law? Is it interesting for you? And she's like, no, I don't really like it. But you're spending years and years and years and all this money to become a lawyer. I'm like, what do you want to be? And she's like, I want to have a health shop. And I'm like, why are you going to be a lawyer? And she's like, oh, it's to please my parents. My parents want me to be a lawyer. And I'm like, that's fucking crazy. You're ruining your whole life for what your parents want you to do. That doesn't make any sense. She's like, Asian parents. I was like, what? But it's not Asian parents. It's just, okay. So yeah, and so I've really found until you actually let go of what other people want you to do and you actually start acting out of what you want to do, your life will always be, you're always going to be a slave to other people's desires and wishes, and you're just never going to be happy. So really one of the keys is stop giving a fuck. Okay. Yeah, so I think I've covered that. That's what I wanted to say. Bam. Okay, so the solution. So this is the main part here. What do we do? What can we do to shut up these thoughts about what other people want us to do and our ego, which is trying to protect us? What do we do? How do we live life in a way where we're going to do what we want and live our lives and not fucking let other people ruin us based on their expectations? Yes, sir. Just do it. Nike stole it. Damn. Sure, but let's get more specific. Now remember what I said earlier, ego is your best problem, so biggest problem is your ego. So any ideas?
You recognize that you have an ego, and like James Marshall said,
I'm going to press the button. Bam! Kill your ego! Isn't that cute? There's a dude with a knife, and it's his doppelganger, and he's dead. Ain't that crazy? That's why I did the PowerPoint. I didn't really need it. Okay, so you want to kill your ego, okay? Can you guys imagine just for a second what it would be like if you shut that voice up in your head? Literally, if you destroyed that voice to such a degree, you weakened it so much, where every time you want to do something, you just looked at it, hey, that girl's really beautiful, and the voice was like, and you're like, all right then, I'm just going to go and talk to this girl. If that voice just wasn't there or was so fucking quiet, it just didn't affect you. Can you imagine what life would be like at that point? Anybody? You ever seen that movie Limitless? It would be that. It would just be you like, I want to do that. I'm going to do that. And you would do it. There was nothing there in your head going, no, don't do that shit. Okay? It would be crazy. Welcome to Sasha Daygame land. So, how to kill your ego. Okay? So, number one, stop avoiding awkward situations. Okay? Everyone is terrified of awkward situations. Being judged. Oh no, what will people think about me? What will people think about me if I do something and it doesn't work out? Okay, so you gotta actually get into them. Start seeking out awkward situations instead of avoiding them. So, some examples, and this is kind of This is what I do. So your brain says, this could be awkward. You should say, great, let's do this. This is going to be awesome. This is going to be hilarious. Okay, so examples. This is just for me, really, to remember my stuff. So a classic example I've seen in like TV shows, movies. There's an awkward teenage guy, right? And he's in a store, and he's like 16. He's going to have sex for the first time, and he's got condoms, and he's really nervous because they're, and he's like, yeah, I've got my banana and some food and these condoms, and he puts them down. And of course, what's going to happen? The girl's like, okay, and she scans them, and she's like, oh, this doesn't work. Hey, let me just get a price check. He's like, no, I'll just pay whatever. She's like, no, that's fine. Can I get a price check on condoms here? We got a pack of condoms here. We get a price check, and the guy's just fucking like, ah, and he wants to die. I get into that situation on purpose. As much as I can. You should be seeking out that situation, because if you can be there and just be like, that's right, I'm buying condoms, everybody. I'm going to have sex. Pretty awesome. If you can get to that point and not give a flying shit about anything and recognize this is hilarious, I really don't care, you will have social freedom, and you will destroy your ego and be able to do whatever you want to. So that's one classic example, just to put out there. So you guys should be looking for situations. If you have any approach anxiety with girls, if you have social fear, you should be looking for situations for it to get awkward. So on an elevator, okay? So who's got their thinking cap on? What can you do if you're on an elevator and you want to test this and you want to make shit awkward and stop giving a fuck what people think? What can we do?
Tell us to fart.
Fart. Yeah, eat some beans. Have one of those fart bags up against the wall and just start making farting sounds. Go, I'm really sorry, everybody. I'm really sorry. If somebody, when the door's opening and someone's going to come on, stand right in front of the elevator and they open and go, and scare the shit out of them. Okay? You can. Whatever, just do awkward shit. Face the wrong way, like everyone's facing the front, face the wall. Just stand there like this, and people will be like, what the fuck's this guy doing? Okay? It's hilarious, and people are going to judge you and think you're fucking weird, and you're going to be like, yeah, cool. Okay? Okay, so buying things in a store, okay? Don't just go in and buy your stuff. Look for opportunities to create social tension, okay? So, for example, I'll go into a store, and first of all, I'll always flirt with whatever girl's there. I'm always going to have fun. I'm just going to mess around and be like, I know you're working, but I think we should go on a date right now. Let's run away together. And she's like, no, I can't. I'm working. But I'll do silly things. I like to steal stuff a lot. So what I'll do is I'll literally fill up my pockets. I'll take chocolate bars and I'll stuff cans of tuna in my underwear. I'll just literally steal all the stuff, everything I can. And then I'll walk up to the security guard. I'll go, hey man, listen, I got a confession to make. I was going to steal this chocolate bar, and I feel really guilty. I'm really sorry, but I can't go through it, so I just want to give it to you. He's like, okay, cool. And I'll be like, yeah, by the way, I also stole all this stuff here and here, and I'll just start unloading, right? All this stuff. I'll just give him everything I have, like literally, and he'll just be standing there with all this stuff, and I'll be like, I'm really sorry, bye. And I'll walk out, and he's just standing there, just going, what the fuck? What do I do here? Okay? It's awesome. Once in a while, nobody knows I have this stuff, and I just walk out. But anyway, usually I don't do that. Usually, come on, the security sucks. Okay. So, talking to strangers, okay? So, any opportunity where you can talk to strangers and you can be a bit of a weirdo, fucking do it. Stop avoiding social awkwardness. Embrace social awkwardness. So if I'm walking up to people, I'll walk up to people sometimes on the street, or they'll walk up to me. Maybe someone will be asking me for directions, and I'll be like, oh yeah, sure, I can help you with that. But quick question though, and I'll just ask them something. I'll just be like, yeah, I'm actually just trying to get a gift for my ex, and I'm just not sure what I should get her, because I don't want her to think that I'm trying to get like win her back or anything. We're just friends and stuff like that. But yeah, do you have any idea what I should get her? Because I don't want to go like too far. I don't want to get her. Where you go? Oh, you're not really sure? Okay, it's all right. Well, thanks anyway. Thanks, great to meet you. Thanks for your help. Well, what did you want? Okay, so I'll start picking my nose and eating it. I'll start wiping it on my shirt and all this kind of stuff. And people will look at me like I'm an absolute freak. Couples are the best. Couples are really funny. He'll never hit you, but they're looking at each other like, oh my God, really great. Okay, so I'll do stuff like that. I'll walk up to people and I'll just be like, whatever. I can go on. We'll do some more of these in a minute. Yeah, a good one is walking up to people and just being like, hey, you guys look like you know the area. I'm just wondering, do you guys know where I can go to get tested for sexually transmitted diseases? Yeah, because it really burns when I pee. You don't know? It's cool. I'll ask someone else. And just walk away really slowly. Okay? So awkward. They're just gonna be like, this guy's fucking weird. What a fucking weirdo. Okay? But it's fucking great, because first of all, you're gonna start having a great time and have fun and realize that, oh yeah, all these people think I'm an asshole and it's okay and it doesn't matter. And when you get to that point in life where you just accept that, yeah, I'm kind of a dick, you know, I fuck around with people, people think I'm weird, and you just go, yeah, I'm okay with that. Your whole life changes because you stop worrying about what the fuck people think about you, which has been holding you back since you were, 4 years old. As soon as you realize that you're a human being, that you're conscious, as soon as you had consciousness, you basically started worrying about what everyone thinks. Fuck them. Okay, so how to kill your ego? Just some baby steps for people who could use them for babies. Steve Martin said, half the battle is just showing up, okay? And that's true. So if you really are suffering from social fear, just go. Just leave the house, man. Seriously, step one, leave the house. Go out. Go anywhere where there's human beings. It doesn't matter. Go to a salsa class. Go to a yoga class. Go to a Starbucks. Go to anything. It doesn't have to be like a huge party with millions of people. Just go anywhere. Go to a bookshop where there's like one person in an aisle and just stand around, okay? But just go somewhere and just get comfortable showing up. Just get comfortable going out anywhere where there's people, okay? That's step one. And the next step is just get comfortable saying hi. That's it. Just saying hi will change your entire life. Just say hi to people. It doesn't mean you have to have a conversation. It doesn't mean you have to have sex with them. It doesn't mean you have to do business. It doesn't mean anything. It just means you're saying hi. Get out of the house and start saying hi to people. Hello. Hi. How's it going? Good afternoon. How you doing? Okay? Just by getting the fuck out there and saying hi to people, and like 5 people a day, you're being more social than 99% of people who don't really do that. They just do their thing. They meet with their people. They'll meet one new person, and that was their day. Okay? So, and just a little cheat I have. Having default social responses can be really, really useful, especially if you're starting out and you're not used to going out there and meeting all these new people. So it's kind of like a chess game. It's like being 1 or 2 moves ahead, or hopefully more. So even though I really preach like be natural and just have fun with girls and blah, 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 it's totally cool when you're starting out just have a couple of default fun things to say. So I thought I'd share some of my ones I came up with just because they might be useful. Okay? So, you look interesting. Will you be my friend? Okay? This is a great thing to say. It's really just basic, but it's also the delivery. You know, it's walking up and like, hey, you look interesting. Will you be my friend? That's it. It's the delivery. Okay? But it's a great friendly thing. And somebody might be like, okay, well, why do I want to be your friend? Because I'm awesome. What's your name? It's a really easy way to start a conversation. Okay, let's look at a couple of fun ones here. This is a great line. This is awesome. This is just a silly thing to say. I'll be anywhere I'll be where there's any kind of tension, and people are kind of like, you could be at a massage place, you could be buying something, whatever it is, and I'll just look at someone, I'll make eye contact, and I'll just be like, I just come here for the music. Okay? Great. People always smile at that. It's wonderful. Okay. Hi, what's up? I'm just trying to stay out of trouble. I usually fail. Okay? Really, really simple. Hey, how's it going? Hey, nice to meet you. Oh, what am I at? Oh, nothing. Just trying to stay out of trouble. Usually I fail. Okay? Very, very simple. Making fun of yourself a little bit. Great thing to say. Okay? You're cute. Let's run away to Barbados together. No. All right. How about a cup of tea? Okay? So again, this is awesome because you're immediately kind of being fun and playful, but it's okay. You're obviously expecting a no. She goes, no. You go, all right, how about a cup of tea? And you're just kind of downgrading and having fun with it. This is awesome. This will get you just walking up to girls and saying anything like this. Hey, you're cute. Do you want to be my girlfriend? No. All right, how about we just talk for 2 minutes? All right. Whatever. How about just a 10-second conversation? All right. Is great. This will get you so far in life, just walking up to people and saying something fun like that. So have a few of these. Make up your own. Just sit down and be like, all right, what's a few standard things to start out with and have fun with? And you're away. You're good looking. Let's make a baby. Girl goes, no. All right, forget the baby. How about a date? We'll start slow, okay? Simple, effective. Great. Okay. So this is huge here. I love this. This is like one of the most important things I've been teaching for years and years and years and years and years. And people they pay a lot of money for this, so pay attention. The biggest secret is making fun of yourself first is the ultimate defense. It's the ultimate way to remove any fears you have about you or what you're doing or what you're talking about. It's just making fun of yourself. This is unbelievable. I've said this before, but it's really part of this whole thing I'm trying to teach today. So there was a great comedian I knew once. He still does comedy. And he had a huge nose. It was ridiculous, even bigger than James Marshall's nose. You can check out his snout later. Just walk up to him and kind of go, wow, there could be stuff and there could be girls up there. There probably have been. Anyway, I digress. So this guy, he had a really huge nose, and he'd go on stage, and he wouldn't say anything. He's an expert at creating at social tension. So he'd walk up, and everyone would look at him, and he'd look at the audience. He'd turn his head to the left, and of course, everyone sees his huge nose, and you hear people start laughing, and he'd look over here. He'd slowly turn his head and look at the audience over here, and everybody else gets a look, and there's more people start laughing at his nose. And then, he'd just be doing this for 30 seconds. Everyone's just laughing at his nose. Then he'd turn to the front, he'd look at everybody, and his first line would be, you ever notice how in pictures at certain angles, no matter what you do, your nose just looks big, right? And everybody laughs because, ha, 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 it's not the pictures, it's his nose. So how many people do you think for the rest of that comedy show make fun of him for his nose? How many people yell, hey man, you got a big nose? How many? None. Because he already made fun of himself first. He's diffused the tension, right? So he's able to do his whole show and nobody says shit and everyone laughs at his jokes and he does great. And he's doing that because imagine what he would do with that nose if he walks up on stage and goes, hey, and everybody's laughing at his nose and he goes, yeah, so for my first joke, and he starts doing some joke and he doesn't acknowledge it, what's going to happen? Hey, look at your nose. Ha, your nose is huge, buddy. Where'd you get that nose, buddy? From a camel? Whatever. People will just start heckling him and he's fucked, okay? So this is a super cheat. I don't care what you're afraid of, right? You want to diffuse your ego and stop giving a fuck what people think. Bring up your own weaknesses. Are you short? Walk up to girls and be like, hi, you ever hear that short guys are best in bed? Well, I think you should find out, How you doing? Hey, you know what they say about Asians? It's true, we're rich. Hi, what's going on? Whatever. Hey, you know what they say about black guys? That's really true. Let's get out of here. Whatever. Doesn't matter. But just get in there and seriously, I got guys who are like, oh well, I'm too old. I can't hit on girls. Walk up to girls and be like, hey, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking I'm probably too old for you. But guess what? You're gonna learn how wrong you are. Or you're going to learn, we're super awesome. Whatever, it doesn't matter, but just make the joke. If there's a girl and I think she might be too young, I'll walk up to her and be like, excuse me, miss, I was going to hit on you, but I think you might be too young, and I like you, but not enough to go to jail, so how old are you? And she'll be like, I'm 20. I'll be like, great, I'm Sasha. And if I know, she goes, I'm 15. I'll be like, I'll see you in 5 years, and I'll just walk off. But if I'm really worried about it, I'm just gonna put it out there, and that's just me kind of circumventing that whole process of like, oh, well, what about this? What about this? Fucking say it and put it out there and have fun with it. And it's really a super cheat. It's a super cheat to disable your ego. It's awesome. Does that make sense? Is that useful? All right. Good. So, bonus fear-busting game. All right. So this is interesting. So this is just a little bonus for all you guys that want to kill your social fear in the face. Totally. And it's also, I guess, this is good for people who want to start a little bit at an easier tempo. They don't want to just run straight into like coming up to strangers and doing the crazy stuff. So they might want to take it a bit easier and sort of work up to it. This is really great. So step one. So get a friend, okay, and just pick a block that has lots of people. Just walk that block with your friend all the way. Take a few minutes and just look at all the people and think up compliments. Just think up compliments. Hey, that guy's got, men and women, right? That guy's got cool shoes. Or that guy's got awesome hair. That guy's got a great walk. That girl's got an amazing, whatever, purse. Doesn't matter. But just think up these compliments and just observe, okay? That's level one. Really easy, not a big deal, okay? Level two, same thing, but when you recognize that compliment, just say it to your friend. That chick's awesome. That guy's 6'9", that's ridiculous. That guy's huge. That guy's got a fake hair. That's totally a toupee. That's hilarious. Just say it to your friend. And again, walk all the way back down the same block. Take a few minutes. Step three, walk down the street. Say compliments to people as they walk by and keep walking. Okay, this is a really crucial step. So you're walking along, and there's like a girl there, and she's got a most amazing, crazy haircut ever. You're walking by and just like, hey, nice haircut. Keep walking. Another dude walks by. Dude, awesome walk. Keep walking. Dude with a really cute dog. My God, you're a huge dude with a really cute dog. Keep walking. So just throw out these compliments. Don't think about it. Don't give yourself that opportunity to start thinking, what have they done? Just fucking hit it out and keep walking, okay? Step four, walk down the street, give out compliments, and just stop and have conversations with people that seem friendly. And you'll see this sometimes. Even in a bar or any situation, you'll just say hi to somebody, and they'll be like, hey. And you're like, okay, that person's friendly, okay? So again, compliment game, walk down the street, I like you, nice walk, you've got a great energy. And some people will just be like, oh, cool. And you'll see that friendliness and stop and be like, hey, my name is, how you doing? What are you up to? And just have a quick conversation, okay? Very simple. And level 5, where you want to get to, give out compliments and stop and have conversations with women that seem friendly. So we're just basically saying, all right, let's cut out these dudes now and let's talk to girls, okay? And just look out for that friendly vibe, stop and have conversations with chicks. If you can go out there and just do this, and literally just take 20 minutes and walk around and just start cranking out these compliments, you get so automated, you don't even think about it. You'll be walking down the street with your buddy, girl will walk by and you'll just be like, nice shoes. You'll be like, what? Or you'll be like, hey, nice ass. You'll be like, what? I'm like, yeah, you got a great butt. That's awesome. And then next thing you know, you're talking to this girl, and all because you've trained yourself just to be like cranking out compliments. And as your ego goes down, this gets easier and easier and easier to the point where you don't even think. You just walk down the street and you're just like, hey, how's it going? Nice hat. I like you. You're awesome. And that's it. You just become that guy who does not give a fuck and just gives compliments and says hi to people and just does whatever he wants to do. And this makes you a baller. Okay? So if you need to use that, pass it along to a friend, please do. It is a good game. Huh. All right, so before we get to that slide. No, that's basically it. I wanted to do a short one and just have lots of time for questions. So on my website, there's a newsletter if you guys want. And I made a special, but this is important. This is a special bonus. I made this for you guys. I put a bunch of my really most favorite ridiculous things to do to destroy your social fear in a report for you guys here today. And it's there. It's just sashadaygame.com/21. And that is basically the core of my presentation.
Woo! Go, Sasha!
All right. And I wanted to say also, I did a talk before in London, and it was really funny because I didn't know what the signals were. So I got this signal. I was like, fuck, I got 6 minutes. And I went really fast through it. And then I got off the stage and I didn't do questions. Then he was like, bro, that meant 15. And I was like, fuck. So this time I'm like, I'm going to do a short talk, get the message out, and then do questions. And I think I've accomplished that. So I feel good.
All right, here we go.
Hi, Sasha.
Yes.
I have one question for you. Like, would you end up in jail if you like have no social anxiety or like kill your ego completely?
Maybe, but you'd have great stories being in jail.
Why
are you here? Funny story.
The reason I said that because I'm working at school dining hall, and there's one girl work with me, and I only talk to her for 1 hour. I can tell she likes me, and yeah, it's like a slap on her butt. I slapped on her butt.
You slapped a girl's butt?
Yeah, so hard.
Yeah.
And she likes it. And she likes it. And yeah, just be real, you know. I just got email from school that like the manager, like, you know what, they have camera over there and they saw it. I have to have a conversation with the manager. Like,
okay, so
when I go back to school.
This is awesome. Yeah, guess what? You're already doing this. Congratulations. Obviously, if you can lose your job, like, you know what I'm saying, maybe take it a level back. You know what I'm saying? Anything where you can get like arrested or really in trouble, I would think twice about. But generally, walking up to people and picking your nose and being stupid and you know what I'm saying? You can never get arrested for it. For talking to someone, being rude, you just cannot. Maybe they'll get to one point where in Western countries you will be, and that's when I'll leave that country. And America's getting close. But yeah, so obviously, yeah, if you can lose your job or something like that, I wouldn't. Same thing with like being direct. If I'm working a girl at work, I wouldn't be like, damn girl, I want to slap. No, I just wouldn't do it. Okay. Because that's using your brain. Yes, sir.
So in Colorado, I used to kill social anxiety by smoking a lot of weed. And this got me kicked out, like many different places. Am I doing it wrong?
I mean, yeah, because then you're becoming dependent on marijuana. Where here you're being dependent on you and your ability to push yourself, your ability to interact with people, and your ability to just take control of your own reality without using any outside source. That's the problem. That's why in the beginning I kind of made fun of hypnosis, because you might be like, well, you could just get hypnotized and be like, I'm not afraid of anything. But it's kind of like a cheat, and then you're reliant on that. What are you going to do, hypnosis every 3 months or 6 months if it wears off? You're going to just keep. I was hanging out with a guy a few days ago. Dude spends $60 a day on weed. Just literally gets this thing of weed, smokes it all, the next day goes out and gets more weed. And he's productive, and he's running a business, and he's doing really great. What happens when the weed runs out? What happens when he becomes immune to the weed? You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, there's many paths, but try and pick the path that's going to serve you in the long run, I would say. Yes, sir.
Thanks, Sasha. So when does the weirdness shift and change into coolness?
Weirdness and cool. I would say as soon as you don't care about people's reaction to you, then you're a cool dude. You see what I'm saying? Like if I meet somebody and they're doing kind of weird stuff, and I see they still care what people think, then they're on their path, and that's good. But when I see somebody just acting the way they want to act, making jokes, being silly, whatever, and they really, like if somebody makes a joke and nobody laughs and the person goes, well, I thought it was funny, and they just don't give a shit, that guy's cool, because he just doesn't care anymore. He said it because he thought it was funny, and fuck everyone else. And those people are the ones that, you know, that move out of their parents' houses and start businesses and travel the world, because they're literally like, I want to do it, I'm going to do it. And the amount of stories I've gotten from students that they've just done all kinds of, literally quit their jobs, started businesses, become entrepreneurs, gotten hot girlfriends, gotten multiple girlfriends, all this kind of thing. As soon as they just went through that period of pain and just went, actually, I don't give a fuck. Everyone can think I'm an asshole. It's totally awesome. And they're just literally living their lives completely oblivious to what people think. And you know, I get these emails all the time from people, literally because they're out there doing silly shit, and to the point where they just go, you know what I'm saying? So right at that point where you're like, I don't care what anyone thinks, you're done. And don't quit then. Keep doing it so you can keep feeling a bit like a dick and being cool with it. You know what I'm saying? Never stop. Never stop.
Yeah, quick follow-up. So doesn't this clash with the whole social calibration thing, or is it discompatible?
No,
Are we
not
trying
at all,
to
because
different
how
things?
can you become socially calibrated until you know what's not socially calibrated? How can you be socially calibrated if you're worrying about what everyone else thinks? You need to destroy your ego so you don't give a fuck what anyone else thinks, and then you can worry about, okay, now I'm going to be more smooth with the ladies, or I'm going to be more this or that. But you can never really be you if you're living your whole life based on other people's opinions. Ever, ever, ever. Seriously, the people who will go after this and get the report and just actually go out and just go do a bunch of silly shit and be judged and not give a fuck, those people will go so much farther in life than the people who just go, this is funny, ha ha ha, and they'll never do anything. You know, I just know from experience. The guys do my boot camps, and the ones who are like, yep, I went out and I spoke to the first hot girl I see every day. They did that for a month. They'd go out and do a couple of pranks every day, just do fun shit, and just they kept pushing their zone. Those people are literally with their own businesses, banging a bunch of chicks, living in Thailand or some other place for cheap. That's what they're doing. And the guys who are like, hey, it's kind of fun, and maybe I'll approach a girl next week. Maybe I'll do something fun. And, I got it from the boot camp. And then 3 months later, they're like, Sasha, after the boot camp, things were so awesome, and now I stopped doing it. Now I'm fucking just jerking off. I'm like, yeah, because why? Because you just went, oh yeah, I'm awesome now. No, you're not. Keep fucking pushing your boundaries till you're dead. Then you're gonna have a great time. Yep.
What's your take on high energy and low energy in social interaction?
Anything can work if it's congruent with your personality. So, you know, when I made some of my videos, I was running around crazy because that's what I was feeling. I was so excited to talk to girls. So I was like, yeah, I love girls. You guys are hot. What's going on? Blah, blah, blah. But at the same time, if you have a really great internal state and you just don't care what people think, I could walk up to a girl at the same time and just go, what's up? What's going on? Do you want to be my girlfriend? I'll be like, no. And I'll be like, well, you should. I'm awesome, right? And they'll look at me and I'll be completely low energy, but it doesn't matter because my internal state is don't care. Don't care, I'm going to do whatever I want to do. So it's really fine. That's the funny thing about me and James. We're totally opposites. I was like, when we met, I'm just running around like, what's up? You're so sexy, let's get married. And he's just like, what's the meaning of life? You know? And so I learned from James that I could calm the fuck down and actually just be the same cool dude and just be like, hey, what's going on? And he actually has become a little bit more animated. You'll see him do wacky shit. And so we've just kind of merged from super cool dude to like super high energy fun guy into sort of, and we're both kind of, you know what I'm saying, closer to the middle. And it's fine. And you can go through phases. You know what I'm saying? You could, for a while, be like, I'm going to try Sasha game. And then be like, well, fuck it. Now I've done that, and that's cool. Now I'm going to try James game. And if James game works better for you, do James game. And if you like being high energy and that works, then do that. But it's just whatever you feel good. And that's the thing. Do what feels right for you. And how do you do that? By not giving a fuck what people think about you. Then you can just be who you want to be.
Thanks for that. I just had one last question. So what do you say to somebody who's a natural introvert, who wants to be more like you, like an extrovert, but really is just very introverted?
Right. Cool. That's a great question. And I think that's why I think a lot of people would be attracted to James, actually, because they look at me and they're like, oh, this guy's hilarious. He's so funny. I'm not like that. James just seems to be like a normal, cool dude who's just like, eh. So it makes sense. But I would say there's power in really in trying both. There's power in trying everything else once just to see how it fits. There's so many ways people behave and act and all this kind of stuff. If you are really introverted, doesn't mean your goal should be like Sasha, but imagine pushing your boundaries where you could be like Sasha a little bit for a little while and try it on. How much more open are you going to be in your everyday life after being like me for even a week or two? So I would say do the baby steps. Like literally start with tiny baby steps. Like if you're super introverted, that's really what that conversation game was about, because it's so easy, the compliment game, because you're literally just walking down the street. just looking at people and going like, wow, that guy's got really great hair, or that woman looks really angry. It's really, really simple. So I would say do that game and take little baby steps, and every time you leave it, well, start leaving the house, every time you leave the house, just do the smallest little tiny thing to push your comfort zone a little bit, up to the point where you can walk up to strangers and, you know, pick your nose or do all these, you know, silly pranks that I do. But it's the same thing with anything in life. You don't just jump into, you know, start taking some kind of action and just slowly build up to the point where you feel comfortable. Then go a little bit past that point of feeling comfortable, and then find your sort of line, which might be being a little bit silly, and then the rest of the time being pretty cool. Whatever it is. But yeah, it's just really just baby steps, and just make the effort, and just don't stop pushing. You know, because there's so many people out there who I know are watching this and they're sitting at home and they're just going to go play World of Warcraft after this. And it's like, dude, you can leave the house and do this stuff too. Anybody can. You just have to go and do it.
Who else got questions, guys?
I really liked your information, Sasha. So you say don't stop pushing. You know, you talk about saying hi and giving compliments. Once you're past that and you're saying hi, you're giving compliments, and you're expressing who you are, what do you mean by don't stop pushing? Like,
well, I just meant in life in general. So whatever is your point that you're stuck at, try and keep going further. So for example, I wanted to do this talk today because so many guys, I find this is the biggest problem. Guys aren't approaching girls. You know, guys email me and I'm like, what's your problem? Like, are you coming up to beautiful girls? And most guys are like, no. Or they'll do it when they're drunk in a bar. And again, they're relying on something external. So I just thought I wanted to focus on that one thing. So that's one big problem. The next big problem is guys will talk to girls, but they have no idea what to talk about. They can't connect to girls. So then I'd be like, all right, well, now you need to work on connection. And then if you can connect with girls and they're calling you back, you know, then you need to work on more connection, or maybe how to text girls, or maybe be more congruent. And then you're getting girls back to your house, but you're not getting laid. Well, probably you're not sexually escalating, or you're not being sexual, or you're creeping them out. Then you got to work on that. So there's always a point where somebody is stuck. Always. We've all been stuck at every point. The people who really get good, they're just the people who manage to get through all those sticking points. And I just find this is the biggest one. And I find the quickest way to learn is if you're actually going out and talking to loads of people, you know, you will just have so much experience in interacting with people and having conversations, and eventually you're going to get good at that, and then it's just a matter of time and breaking down the other stuff. But if you never get past this, if you're sitting at home literally watching YouTube clips going, man, I just don't want to leave the house because I'm scared, you're just not going to get anywhere. So that's why I think this is just really important. When you just get out there and have fun and you're leaving the house, everything else can come. And as long as you're having those interactions with people, you can work on all those bits. You can work on conversation. You can work on texting because you're getting numbers because you're meeting people. You know, and you can just work on every little bit. So really just push yourself when it comes to dating and everything else in life as well. It's really just about pushing, you know. If you have a shitty job, you know, you can't just keep working and thinking that, oh, well, it's not so bad. Or you could do up your resume and start sending it to people who you really want to work with in some other industry. Or you could start a website and start generating a little bit of income and working on that in your part-time to build that up to support you, and then quit your job. I mean, you could do all those things. You could learn poker and then, you know, get pretty good and then go to Thailand and play poker for them. I mean, you could do anything you want to, but it's only if you push yourself, take some chances, and start going for it. So I just wanted to focus on this element. Yes, sir.
How did you meet your girlfriend?
Oh, this is a great. My main squeeze here, or a girlfriend? What do you mean? You tell me. Well, what's the question?
What great story can you tell us about how you met your girlfriend?
Oh, okay. All right, this one, because there have been many girlfriends.
Sure.
Yeah. Or your best story. Well, this one. Well, there's many stories, but this one is here. So that would be her. Great. Fantastic. Well, this is my piggy. She's amazing. And it's a great story, actually. So I guess this is a great story to end on, actually. So I was in London, and I was just building up my PUA empire. And one day, I'm in the kitchen, and my sales guy, he kind of helps me with calls and whatever, walks in and goes, yeah, there's some girl emailed, and she wants to do a boot camp. And I'm just like, whatever. No girl's going to pay money to fucking try and meet guys. Tell her to send a deposit, and then I'll take it seriously. 2 days later, he walks in, and she goes, she paid for the boot camp in full. Who's going to teach her? And I'm like, oh, crap. And the girl was really gung-ho, and she booked the flight before I confirmed when I could teach her. So she actually was coming into London during a week where I was doing a week-long residential course with guys. So I couldn't teach her. So I spoke to one of my instructors. I'm like, all right, you can teach her. She's a girl. You can do it, right? It's the same thing, but she's going to hit on dudes. And he's like, sounds pretty weird, but okay, sure. You know. because it's just doing this stuff and learning conversational skills, whatever. So that weekend during the course, we teach the theory in like a coffee shop or whatever, somewhere nice with juice or whatever. So I go downstairs into this venue, and as I'm turning right, because my guys are in the corner, I notice my instructor sitting there, and in front of him is this really cute, kind of half Asian looking girl with a bitchy face, and she's totally hot in my type, and I'm like, motherfucker, and I go over there and I'm start teaching my, my theories and my system, whatever, to my students, and at the same time I hear my instructor teaching the same stuff to this really cute girl. I'm like, this is fucking bullshit. I should be over there with a hot girl, and he should be over here. This sucks. All right. And so anyway, so at the end of the first day, I'm like, I really like this girl, and I kind of want to hook up with her. And so I'm talking to my instructor, and he's like, yeah, man. I'm like, how was the first day? He's like, yeah, it's really good. She's doing well. It was really fun. And he's like, yeah, I think I'm going to try and bang her. I'm just like, dude, you can't bang her. That would be unprofessional. I'm running a business here. You're her instructor. That's totally unethical for you to sleep with her. And he's like, yeah, you're right. And the next day, I banged her. Whoops. Anyway, well, come on, it's fine. I own the company. That's different. I wasn't directly. And just the fact that, and we've been together ever since in a kind of like a beautiful open relationship, and now, I suppose I can announce to the world we're getting married. Oh yeah! However, we're doing our own rules because we don't believe in the normal marriage paradigm. So we're doing a marriage where we get married, and every 2 years we sit down and decide if we want to keep being married, and we'll keep doing that till forever. And if one day we're bored, we depart as friends. So we're not doing any of the bullshit forever. Our vows are going to be we're going to stay together as long as we're having an awesome time. And that's what we're doing. Yes. And hopefully there'll be some adventures with other girls because my wife is bisexual. Oh yeah. All right. So that's the story. And really, if anything, that story shows you that like how demasculated are men where women, cute, sexy fucking girls, have to take courses on how to approach men because men won't fucking come talk to them. That's what we've become, and that's what the 21 convention is all about. I'm done. See you later.